So July 26th, 2009. What happened?
Simons.
Okay. Good. How old are you?
Oh, good question. 49, about to be 50.
How many miles did you ride your bike last year?
17,050 miles.
I think most people drive their cars 12 to 15.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
So, all right. So you're above average?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Why do they call you Le Mule?
It all came from a friend of mine named Chris Dehart. He brought it up several years ago. Basically what it is I like to be in the front of the pack and I like to pull a lot.
All right.
And that's basically how Le Mule came about.
All right, so you're the beast of burden.
Yeah, I like to suffer a little.
Anything with how stubborn you are built in there? Or?
Yeah, and that kind of goes hand in hand with being the mule.
Yeah.
The mule just wants to be up there doing all the work.
So if I had to ask you philosophically or just in the scope of your life, why do you ride?
Basically, I ride for just some sanity. Everyday stresses with work and everyday life. Just riding just kind of opens up a whole new world of freedom and just relaxation. So I used to call it my Saturday rides, which are normally a long ride, where I don't go to church a lot anymore, or any. Saturdays were like my church, just to be outside, be peaceful, and just kind of relax.
And were there like stresses of life that led you to kind of need that decompression?
Well, I mean, you have everyday stresses. I mean, I think I really got crazy with cycling a little bit after my son was born. He was born super preemie, 1 pound, 11 ounces. A lot of doctor visits, a lot of time in the hospital, 99 days, a lot of stress there, and then everyday work. And then that's, I think, where it started getting out. Mm-hmm. There was another stressful situation that came out after that. And I think it was July 2009, we had an incident where my wife and I were out riding on a Sunday morning, and we're about to wrap up a ride, and we're approached by a motorist. Started yelling at us outside the window, saying a lot of nasty things. I just told him, hey, just leave us alone. Go on, leave us alone. And he wouldn't stop. So we ended up stopping and having a little discussion. I went to walk around the backside of his car and went over to the side of his window just to tell him, hey, leave us alone. And when I did, there was a gun pointed at me. As soon as I saw that gun, I said, just leave us alone, turned to walk away, and he fired the gun.
And so how did that experience change you? Like, did it change you mentally for a little while, or how did it impact you that way?
You like to say that it didn't affect you a lot. I mean, in the end, it probably did affect me a little bit. But in my mind, what he did that day just gave me more passion to do the things I wanted to do on my bicycle. So my goal from that point on was, not to let him win. My immediate reaction is, okay, was this real? I mean, it was definite. Right away, there's a loud, intense ringing in your ear. You can't hear anything. I was ducking. I was walking back to the back of the car. I went to the very back of the car, grabbing at my ear, just making sure, trying to see if there was any blood or anything coming out of the side of my head. And I didn't feel anything, and I didn't see anything. As I walked around the back of the car, I was looking back through the rear window to the driver just to see what he was doing and just make sure nothing else was coming. and he sped off at that point. There was a guy at a restaurant right across the street. He saw everything happen and was screaming, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, I walk up there and I said, "Yeah, I think I'm okay." I said, "I don't feel any blood. I can't hear anything right now in this ear, but I don't feel anything." And he went at that point just to look at me. He says, well, let me look at you and make sure. Because I thought it was a blank. I thought it was a blank. There was no blood. I thought maybe it's just, it's just scare tactics with the gun. But once he looked at me and checked me over, he says, no, he said that wasn't a blank. He shot you. He shot at you. I said, but there's no blood. He says, there's a hole in the bottom of your helmet, and there's a hole at the top of your helmet. Yeah, needless to say, it was real, and it got really real at that point.
So recently you got a chance to look at the pictures even more than you had seen then. So what stood out to you?
What really stood out to me is we knew it was close. We knew it was close. We only saw a few pictures of the incident, from the court proceedings and all that. But now I have the whole bank of pictures just to realize how close it was. That's the thing that stood out to me the most. And they said an inch would have been fatal. I say less than an inch, as close as I saw how the bullet traveled through the helmet. So, yeah. Cycling, like I said, is a form of relaxation and de-stressing and all that, and that's the way I wanted to keep it, and nobody was going to take that from me.
I don't understand why you're thinking of me. You had me at alone. I don't understand why you're
cycling because I cycled with you, but
Yeah.
after that event, how did that change the level of cycling? Because
it got me more intense. I had a new focus, probably a little extreme.